Hello, this is Ali with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today I want to talk about how to treat the body like a woman. Okay, so again, this is kind of, it was like a little bit of a clickbaity title, but the way that this is a really important metaphor that I kind of want to offer, because I think that it can really help us as humans, men and women, everyone included, to learn how to inhabit our bodies in a way that is going to make us feel way more comfortable, way more optimal, and that is going to allow us to continue to evolve into healthier, happier, more vital human beings. Okay? So this is a little, like I say, this is an analogy that I kind of came up with a few days ago, and I think it's kind of cool, and I think, like I say, I don't want you to take this as like, ultimate truth, ultimate rule. I just want to kind of express this as something to think about, to kind of expand your awareness of your human body and to give you a little bit of a different perspective on it that, like I say, it may help you live a little bit more in harmony with yourself. So I'm not saying this is like, this is how it is. I'm saying this is a fun metaphor, a fun analogy that can help us to understand the body better and live in harmony with it a little bit better, okay? So when we look out at the earth, okay, and nature, and how nature functions, right? It is very feminine in its energetic characteristics, right? In its characteristics in general. So, like, even we call Earth Mother Earth because it is a very amazing representation of feminine energy, right? It's cyclical. It's like there aren't a lot of like straight lines and straight edges in nature. It's all very curvy and flowing and cycles and feeling based, right? The way that Earth is, if we really spend time in nature, I believe that we will all get a very clear sense of how very feminine nature is. And like even things like, the destruction, the life and death cycle of nature, right? Like there's a very feminine aspect of that destroyer energy that Earth has. That when things are kind of going bad, like the forest will burn itself down, right? And this creates new life. And so basically you understand what I'm saying. That Earth and nature and this planet that we live on is very, very, very much a feminine-based energy, a feminine-based system, and it works very feminine. And we can even see in the way that we treat nature that when we go with its cycles and we go with its rhythms and we go with its natural flow, right? Its intuitive, feeling-based, cyclical nature, things are awesome, right? We have, things are in balance, everything seems to work out. And when we attack the earth in a masculine way, right? When we try and dominate the earth, when we try and make the earth a system, when we try and make the earth, straight lines and straight edges, it doesn't go so well. Yeah? I think we can all kind of agree on that. That when we tackle the earth in a very masculine way, it tends to be destructive to the earth. When we tackle the earth in a very feminine way, it tends to be very cohesive with how earth functions, okay? So I think we all have that understanding. I think we can all agree on that. So now, how does this apply to the body? Well, if you haven't noticed, your human body, man or woman, doesn't really matter, is nature, right? Your body is a part of nature. And as far removed from living in a natural environment as we are, as far removed from nature as most of us are, the human body is still nature, okay? Man or woman doesn't really matter. We still have cycles. We still have growth and death. We still have life and rebirth. We still have destruction and destroying. We still have, the body is feeling based, right? Your body's not speaking to you in words. Your body is not communicating to you in math. Your body is not lines and edges, right? It's curves. Even the masculine body is not straight lines, right? It is still curvy, right? We are still soft. We are still fleshy, like it's very feminine. Okay, so like I say, I don't want all the men to turn off this video and be like, well, she's just talking about women, because like I say, women absolutely have more obvious cycles, right? Like our menstrual cycles and our emotional cycles tend to be just very much more obvious, and I just kind of think that tends to be more because our cycles are shorter, so they become more clear and more obvious. But men have cycles too. Men definitely have emotional cycles. Men definitely have hormonal cycles. They're not completely stagnant and the same all the time. Even though you definitely are more stable, the male version of the human body is definitely more masculine, more stable. It's not completely without its feminine characteristics. Okay, so if we start to look at the human body like this, right? We look at it as very intuitive. We look at it as feeling based, because men, your bodies are feeling based too. None of your bodies are speaking to you in math. They're all speaking to you in feeling, right? You still have gut feelings. You still have emotions that you feel in your body. It's all very feeling still. And like I say, your body is cyclical. Your body is feminine, even though it's masculine, right? So if we look at the human body as part of nature, and if we look at nature as being feminine, and we look at the human body as being feminine, this gives us a little clue as to how the human body, ideally, likes to be treated, okay? Feminine, right? So this is where a lot of my kind of teachings come from, is this idea that when we try and attack the body in a masculine way, okay, when we try and dominate the human body, when we try to force it into something that is very rigid or very stuck, or very even like when we look for the perfect diet, or we look for the perfect workout program, or we look for the perfect something, right? And we are trying to find a system, and we're trying to find the straight lines and the straight edges, and this is how it works, and this is how it's going to always be all the time, so that I can just put my finger on it, and then it's just how it is. And even in how we treat our emotions, like, oh, those emotions shouldn't be there. We don't know how to deal with that feminine stuff. Like, ooh, put that away, put that in a box. Let's just be analytical. Let's be critical. Let's be, and even like when we kind of come at the body from this very analytical place, like I'm gonna calculate all my nutrients down to the very last thing. I'm gonna calculate exactly how many calories I'm burning and how many calories I'm consuming, and I'm gonna work out the exact same way every single day, and I'm gonna be on this diet forever, and we notice that we run into problems, okay? So this is not to say that we throw all masculine tools out the window, that we become completely non-analytical, we don't think about it, not like that, okay? This is just to say that generally speaking, when we treat the human body more in its feminine essence than in its masculine essence, we tend to come closer into alignment with our health, okay? So ultimately speaking, if you start to approach the human body, man or woman, from a feminine standpoint, I'm going to tune into how I feel. I'm going to tune into my cycles. I'm going to tune in to those highs and those lows. I'm going to tune in to the times when I'm feeling really creative and really birthing and really energetic and going for it, and I'm going to tune into the times when I'm feeling lower and more like death and like being introspective and allowing things that are no longer serving me to flow out of us, right? If we started, all of us, to approach our bodies in this feminine way, okay, in this intuitive feeling, allowing the cycle to be what it is without trying to like always be energetic or always be introspective or always be anything, right? We allowed ourselves to flow with the feminine cycles of the human body, man or woman, we would come closer into alignment with our health, okay? And this too, when you allow yourself to tune into these feelings, you allow yourself to tune into what is my body telling me. Just because this felt good yesterday doesn't mean this is going to feel good today. Just because this felt good for me for the whole last year doesn't mean this is going to feel good for me now, right? If we start to do this, right, your body will start to communicate with you exactly what it needs in order to be healthy. Okay? And you will notice that if you're really willing, and if you're really allowing yourself to tune in, and you're really allowing yourself to treat this human body as the feminine vessel that it is, that you will have cycles, and when you don't fight the cycles, right? When you go with the cycles, you will always find that it is for your highest benefit. It is for your greatest good. And when you don't attach to a system, right? Like, I'm going to eat this way all the time. I get up, I have this, I have this many cups of this and this many tablespoons of this and da-da-da-da-da, and then I have this da-da-da-da-da. But I'm not going to listen to my system. I'm going to like super analyze everything, right? That's when we run into problems, right? But if you're going to say, okay, what if I just tune into how I feel after I eat every meal? Like, if that's all you did, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to go on this diet plan that someone told me to do, I'm going to feel in my vessel how that feels, okay? And then again, when we have these feelings, right? Not all negative feelings in the body necessarily mean that what we're doing is wrong. Sometimes that's a healing crisis. Sometimes that's detoxification. And I know that word is like way overused and people don't really understand it. But you see what I'm saying? When you can really tune in to your body and its cycles, you will know when something is right for you and it's just uncomfortable right now, or when something is wrong for you and that's why it feels that way. You see what I'm saying? We need to start treating the body like a feminine instrument. It is not consistent all the time. It has cycles. It has short cycles, it has long cycles, it has a life cycle, and whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, if you're trying to fit your body into a very specific linear box, you're going to run into problems, because that's not how the human body functions, because the human body is feminine. So, the point of this video is, your body has cycles. Your body is in tune. Your body is feeling based. Your body is communicating to you via feelings and emotions and sensation, because it's feminine at its core. All right? So when we want to heal, when we want to lose weight, when we want to come into alignment with health, when we want to take ourselves to higher levels of health, okay? Don't negate the analytical masculine side. It's not to say never think, never analyze, never read anything, da 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 da. But it's like when you're doing those things, right? When you're thinking, when you're analyzing, when you're reading stuff, base your decisions on how you feel about that analytical stuff, okay? And then same thing, when you tune in with your body, get the sensations, get the feelings, allow your body to communicate to you in its cycles, and then use your analytical mind to make that a practical reality in your reality. So rather than forcing yourself to like try and be on this like perfect diet that someone told you about that feels terrible for you right now, think, okay, maybe there's a part of me that truly is attracted to this because this program ultimately is going to be really good for me. But right now, my body is not at a place where it wants to be forced into that program, right? So what feels good for me right now if I tune into my physical body, in the cycle that I'm in the high or low or the energy point that I'm in, and what feels good for me right now that I can implement right now that's working towards that. So same thing with your exercise, right? On the weeks when you feel like high and you want to run and you want to do HIIT and you want to do all these crazy things, do it when it's fun and it feels good and your body is like going with you, right? But on the weeks when it's not, on the weeks when it's slowing you down and everything is heavy and everything is hard, slow down. Listen to that cycle. Listen to that, right? And don't get confused and don't get all caught up in what you're feeling right now is what you're going to be forever, right? So if you're in kind of like a lull for more than like a week or two and we start to freak out like, oh my God, I'm never going to get back into my high intensity exercise, blah, blah, blah. Don't freak out about that. Just let your body do its thing. Trust it, right? It's having a cycle. It's doing what it's doing for a reason, okay? Don't overanalyze the body. Tune back into that feminine essence of your physical body. If you're wanting to heal, if you're wanting to lose weight, if you're wanting to do all these things, start to tune in. Don't over-masculize it. Don't get all analytical. Don't go so far down the rabbit hole that you're not listening to your body or its cycles anymore. And I will tell you this, you can trust me, because I used to try and fit my body into the boxes very much, right? Like that was like my life, and it was like struggle and hard, and I didn't trust my body, right? I didn't trust that on those low cycles it wasn't going to be low forever. And I was like always so afraid if I couldn't exercise, or if I was like feeling, I pushed myself so hard, and it just like never worked for me. When I started to relax and I started to tune in, the days you want to eat a little more, you eat a little more. The days you want to eat a little less, you eat a little less. The days you want to eat more fat, you eat more fat. The days you want to eat less fat, you eat less fat. It's not a program, it's not a system, right? The days you feel really energetic, go for it. The days you feel low, rest, stretch, do a little movement, right? Do some yoga. It doesn't have to be, and it really shouldn't be, and it really won't be. This is how it is all the time. So like I even say all the time in like my videos about like the way my body looks right now. I don't expect it's going to stay like this forever. And it doesn't, it's not in any stagnant place all the time. Dara Dubonnet kind of had this video where she said that her mom told her, never trust a woman who doesn't fluctuate. And I think that there's wisdom in that, right? That like even my body, like I'm at a pretty stable place, but there's still fluctuation within that stability. There's still cycles. There's still ripples. It's not constant, right? And because I trust those cycles, and because I allow my body to be in the more feminine way, and I can tune in to needing a little more of this today, a little more of that tomorrow, a little less of this, a little less of that, more rest, more introspection, okay, more out, more creativity, right? It all flows, it all works. My body is happy, my body is healthy, and therefore it doesn't have to react so big, right? This is why the fluctuations are small, because my body can let me know what cycle it's in, and I don't fight it. I go with it, and then we're pretty much in balance, we're pretty much in harmony, we're doing good all the time, right? Rather than there being these kind of like battles with my body. And I think that's what I'm trying to get across, right? When you allow your body to be more feminine, when you allow yourself to treat your body in a more feminine manner, things tend to flow for you. And we get rid of these big, wild, dramatic swings that the body does, because we allow it to be in its cycle, and we go with that cycle, and we are feminine. We allow the body to be feminine, whether you're a man or you're a woman, and the cycle leads us to optimal health, right? So you can trust your body, you can trust its cycles. It is feminine whether you're masculine or female. And if we treat it like that, if we lose weight by being feminine, and we are tuned in, and we are loving our body, and we are nurturing our body, and we are trusting its cycles, and we're not trying to force it into anything, and every diet book we read, we tune in, how does this feel? Every plan we read, we tune in, how does this feel, right? This is how it might be a slower process than you want it to be. The masculine way can get shit done, right? But it's not sustainable, right? So that's that. Treat your body like a feminine instrument. Allow yourself to connect with your feminine nature via your feminine body, man or woman, because it is nature, okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I love hearing from you. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Join the Patreon community, links down below. Find us on Facebook, Perception Trainers, on Instagram, ally_perception trainers. And I will see you in the next video.